So we try to go a little bit of time between videos so that we can show changes and updates, but we got a call about 25 minutes ago that the girls that we wanted a while ago are now ready. So here they are. These are the ducks. This is a sleeping one. She's super sleepy. And those are some chicks. And of course the ducks have a little bit of water under them. And the chickens don't. But let me tell you, today, the sunlight that you're seeing out there is not doing it justice. It is toasty. So these little chicks and ducklings are very warm. And so, although they're bundled together, they are warm. So they're resting because it's hot out here. So, how do we tell which ones are the ladies?
Okay, so the ladies are the Anconas are brown instead of black. And the Anconas have these cute little feet with the black and the orange. So you know which ones are Anconas because they have all different spots and the black and orange feet. And then the black ones are boys and the brown ones are girls. The rest of these are what we call straight run.
And straight run, for those who don't know, means?
Straight run is, we don't know the sex. They have not been, the gender has not been identified. So when you buy a straight run, you get what you get and you grow them out and you see what happens.
As we say, you get what you get and you don't get upset.
That's right.
Okay, so the girls have the brown feet and the boys have the black feet.
They have the brown feathers.
Brown feathers.
Like this little one here and this little one here. But they have these cute little feet. Look at those.
Look at that.
Yeah,
That's
so cute.
style.
So cute. And then the little black ones are easy to spot. These are the little boys.
Oh, okay.
And that's just for this breed.
Yeah, that's just for the Ancona.
Ancona.
Ancona. Very nice. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So these are 1 day old. Look how big they are. And look how active they are. And this is, he might even have some mama juice still on him.
Still on him. Yeah.
Some mama egg juice. Now, how long do they run through the incubator cycle for ducklings?
It's 28 days for ducks, 21 days for chickens, 32-ish for geese, and 27 for turkeys.
These are turkeys.
They are turkeys. Those are butterballs.
I was wrong.
Oh, well, easy
I
to
thought
do.
they were chicks.
They look a lot like chickens.
Sorry.
Yeah.
These are butterball turkeys.
I did say
Well, everyone loves a butterball turkey.
That's right.
Properly basted.
So these guys, people are picking them up today to raise up for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, people are coming to get
Yep, these are all reserved.
Very nice. Look at that.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. Raise it yourself so you know what you're
Yeah,
Excellent.
exactly.
That is excellent.
And
how
turkeys-
big will those get?
Oh, big. Yeah. We let a few go. I got tired of butchering turkeys, and I was like, you for or free until I'm ready to do this again. And they went for about 8 months. We harvested them. They dressed at 50 pounds each.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were they?
7, 8 months.
Wow.
Ish. But if you're raising them for Thanksgiving, these guys should grow out from today until, Thanksgiving. The boys will be about 30, 35 pounds dressed, and the girls' dress weights will be 20 to 25. But it depends on what you feed them, it depends on how well you take care of them, all of those things.
Very nice. Well, that's a wealth of information as well. Look at that. This is great. I thought these were at least a half a week or a week old.
In fact, I have some in the incubator right now that they're still drying off.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, so...
And so what do you think is going to happen today with your Anconas? Do you think people are going to come and get them?
Well, these guys are unreserved. So, except
Okay.
for you guys, I knew you wanted, and I was waiting for some girls to hatch out.
Yeah.
We hatched out a bunch of boys last month, and I was like, well, we got one girl, and one lady had already reserved that one a while ago, so she drove all the way down from Pennsylvania to pick up that one duckling. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I know.
That's dedication.
Hey!
All right, so the last one I didn't have the right setting set up on the camera. But we do have an update, if you can tell. We had to go and retrieve these 3 Anconas ducks. And so we also changed our layout in our little area over here. So I'm going to go over it because I think this might be one of the cheapest and easiest put together chicken runs, and it's very lightweight. The only thing is the roof that we have to fortify, but we used this OSB board for now. But all it is a greenhouse setup with the connections to make a 1-foot high run. These metal pieces are nothing but the shelves. So if you can see here, these metal pieces here, these are just the shelves. So if you could imagine that this would stand up and make a greenhouse really tall, and that you would put this shelf on here as like a tray for plants. Well, here's the deal. These trays are just the right size. They're just a little too wide for these baby ducks, which are 1 day old. But that's only because they're 1 day old. But these chickens right here, which are 3 weeks old, can't fit through, and they've tried a few times. So this works perfect, and it won't work for a 1 day old, but it'll work for 3 weeks. These ducks will mature much faster than these chickens that are right beside them, the bigger ones. These ducks right here are a month and a half, almost 2 months old, and look how big they are. They're huge. So ducks mature and fatten way faster than chickens. Just way faster. So anyway, the point is, if you want to get a very inexpensive lightweight run, you might have to get a board on the top, an OSB board. You might have some other heavy protection from the rain and from sunlight, but that board is going to do it for us. And we already had a little pen set up, so all we did was turn this little greenhouse into a little rectangular run by just linking it together. And then for the cages, we just used some very inexpensive, I even had them left over, they're very small zip ties. You get these like $200 or $300 in a set. You can get the big ones if you want, but these work perfect. They're small. You don't even have to do them really tight because it gives you a little bit of looseness and movement. But these shelves that come with this set for like $30 were plenty enough to do all the way around here and cage it. Now right here, when you do your your entrance, which I'm going to try to pan back so you can see it, it just folds over, and then we're going to put those on top, and then you put the brick on top of it. So if you can see how this was working, when you let them out, if you want to let them out, you just open that and close that. That's just zip tied together right there all the way across, and it's not zip tied to the top, so no screws were needed. You could use twist ties if you want. I mean, you could use braid twist ties. You don't even have to have zip ties if you want just to twist it on here with a little wire. You can use copper wire or anything. And then down here it's the same thing. It's just two sets of these sheets, these shelving sheets, and then we just zip tied them to the base pole so that it would stay there. And so that's it. And so this, I'm telling you, this is made of our leftover stuff, you know. I mean, you don't need that circle thing. We just did that so that we could have the sheet board overhang a little bit so that they could get more sun. But you could use a baseboard. That red baseboard we were using, it's a little smaller. We didn't have to cut anything because we already had it pre-cut. It was leftover wood. The bricks were leftover bricks. I just put them there just to make a border, but the board pushed it down pretty tight to the ground. And I was gonna dig and level the ground, but it's tight to the ground. So I don't really need the bricks. I just put them there just because. And I needed to separate them because these ducks were not gentle with the little ducks. So the little ducks are still going to have to be secured inside for a little while because they can fit through that square. But the chickens are safe from the ducks until they get older. So that's my quick video on the very inexpensive, quick to build. Took us about an hour together. Zip tie chicken run. Just on my last minute update for these little ones, they were falling out. They were getting out of the little square run that I showed you earlier. So they have to do a couple days in this little makeshift pen until they get big enough, because they're really only 48 hours old, if that. But a simple little watering hole for ducks is we took our gallon water jug, cut it in half, then did another one, cut that one in half, and then the bottom one we put rocks in between the top layer and the bottom layer. So what you see on the left side is those two jugs taped together at the top to make a little boat. We call it a little boat. It holds the water just deep enough for them, and they hang out in there and they splash around. Let's see if I can show you. And so they go in there and they drink and they hang out. It's just deep enough. We could add a little bit of water probably, but ducks are different from chickens, and they really do gravitate toward water, and even if it's just a little bit. And you do have to put some water for them to clean their little nose out, because they got a little different beak structure. So anyway, just wanted to show that as I close out this video of these day-old or so chicks that have to hang out a little longer until they get bigger. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Wait me out, ducks. Wait me out.